with less than 10 episodes of Game of Thrones remaining, we suppose it's no surprise that the show's been moving at a breakneck pace lately. Last week's installment gave us an epic battle scene, the death of a major character, and two fan favorites crossing paths for the first time. Needless to say, it's a hard act to follow, but the spoils of war delivered in a major way, sticking with the same potent formula as other memorable episodes this season. 40-plus minutes of chess pieces moving in intriguing ways, followed by an extended scene of mind-blowing action. Speaking of fan favorites butting heads, we begin on a satisfying note, with some verbal jousting between Jaime and Bronn. They may not always get along, but the lifelong warriors tend to have one another's backs when it counts, but more on that later. Cersei, meanwhile, settles her debt with the Iron Bank, a plot point that may not have the same appeal as fire-breathing beasts, but one that will likely prove to be of tremendous significance. Her credit score might have taken a hit due to her family's considerable debt, but it seems she's made some wealthy new friends who will prove to be important allies in the battles to come. Elsewhere in the Seven Kingdoms, Littlefinger tries to sweet-talk yet another Stark kid, not realizing that Bran is now the three-eyed raven and can see his entire sketchy past. The dagger he presents to Bran brings up memories of a Season 1 storyline that many fans had feared forgotten. Our prediction: it won't end well for Lord Blish. Mira is quickly reminded of the change in the youngest living Stark when she bids her traveling companion adieu and is astonished by his lack of emotion. Of course, Bran's not the only member of his family who's changed over the course of the past 6.5 seasons. Arya is finally back at Winterfell, and as she reminds the guards who tried to turn her away, she's now one of the supreme badasses of the North. Once they're reunited, she and Sansa reflect on life at Ned Stark's monument and share a laugh over Arya's kill list. Good times. We're beginning to get a sense of an ending, and like the Starks' gradual return to Winterfell, it's all very bittersweet. Like Mira, Arya is stunned by the change in Bran, but one gets the impression that she understands what others may not about her wounded brother. Namely, that he'll soon prove a more potent weapon than any Valyrian steel blade. Brienne is affected by Arya's return, as she swore to the late Catelyn Stark that she would protect her daughters. She seems to feel even more tender toward her young charge once Arya whops her ass in hand-to-hand combat, because that's the way to Brienne's heart. The trips down Legacy Lane continue with an exploration of the all-important Dragonlance mines of Dragonstone. The caves provide an opportunity for Jon to demonstrate to Daenerys that the White Walkers are real and have been a threat for millennia. It seems he's making progress, but she still wants to see that knee bend. With that, Tyrion breaks the news that the war effort isn't going according to plan. The Khaleesi begins to lose faith in her hand and reflect on the fact that she's got a trio of fire-breathing nukes waiting to do her bidding. Jon reminds her that she seeks to become a different sort of ruler, not Queen of the Ashes, but it seems the madness of Queen Dany is already in the offing. From there, Jon and Davos have a conversation about good hearts and seem to simultaneously come to the realization that Missandei is far cooler than the Khaleesi. In fact, she and Davos seem to understand the heart of the issue better than Jon or Dany. Loyalty can't be forced, and a ruler that's been chosen by the people will always have greater power than one who governs by fear. It's an episode of reunions, and Jon and Theon 1 is not exactly the most warm-hearted. We get a bit of comic relief in the form of Dickon, tee-hee, and then things take a turn for the seriously epic. Yes, it's the moment so many have been waiting for, Dany leading a dragon into battle against a Lannister-led army. It's hard to live up to so many years of anticipation, but the show delivered in a big way with one of its most riveting battle scenes to date. It's not just the scale that's impressive but the constant, edge-of-seat fear that a beloved character, Jaime, Bronn, Daenerys, and of course, Dickon, might soon bite the dust. Did that happen? Well, it's tough to say. Just as he was about to get roasted, someone, Bronn? came to Jaime's rescue and tackled him into the sea. Unfortunately, neither of them moved thereafter. It's a cliffhanger, folks. As though there was any doubt we'd be tuning in next week. Watch Game of Thrones online at TV Fanatic to get caught up on one hell of an action-packed season.